The cost of maintaining cash has become a burden due to the many vices arising from cash-based transactions. Hello, welcome to Business News with Lily Kelvin on Noble Life TV. The Central Bank of Nigeria and stakeholders in the financial service sector have said a robust cashless policy system is capable of increasing medium, small, and micro-scale enterprises' access to loans. They spoke against the backdrop of the various challenges facing the cashless policy of the CBN in the country. The stakeholders, including the CBN, spoke at a virtual event hosted by the Chief Executive Officer, Managing Director of First Central Credit Bureau, an independent credit intelligence firm, Mr. Deji Olamide, themed Harnessing the Benefits of Cashless Policy and Credit Allocation in a Developing Nation recently. Echoing the central bank's vision around the cashless policy, the CBN Director of Banking Supervision, Haruna Bala Mustafa, noted that the intention has never been to eliminate cash, but to reduce the use of cash and encourage electronic payments using electronic channels. Mr. Mustafa, who was represented by Mr. Adeni Adekunle, observed that although Nigeria is largely a cash economy, the cost of maintaining cash has become a burden due to the many vices arising from cash-based transactions. According to him, cashless policy has largely encouraged transparency, ease of doing business, and access to loan for MSMEs. Listing the benefits of cashless policy, the CBN director said it has also increased cost of saving. Also, the president of FinTech Association of Nigeria, Mr. Ade Bajomo, who spoke on the rapid adoption of digital payments due to cashless policy, said, "A cashless policy has the potential to revolutionize credit allocation in developing nations and by creating a digital trail, reducing the cost of credit assessments, providing greater transparency, making it easier to assess credit worthiness, improving credit scoring speed and open loan processing, risk management, promoting financial inclusion." Explaining the future impact of the cashless policy on digital lending systems, Bajomo stated that the cashless policy requires the promotion of electronic transactions and the reduction of cash transactions. It has several benefits as clearly articulated in terms of convenience, speed, transparency, security, customer experience, and others. However, one of the most significant benefits of cashless policy is the impact it has on credit allocation in developing countries. The lack of credit is a significant barrier to economic growth and development. The head of personal banking at First Bank Nigeria, Mr. Ikemefula Nwachukwu, explained that the CBN's open banking framework has leveled the playing field for data access. This, according to him, is expected to impact the calculations of credit scores for lending agencies. Also, the national president of the National Association of Microfinance Banks, Mr. Joshua Okute, urged stakeholders to leverage the cashless policy to create viable and more innovative financial products. The International Monetary Fund says the recent slowdown witnessed in foreign direct investment, especially in developing countries, can be linked to the divergent trade patterns among countries, with flows increasingly concentrated among geopolitically aligned countries, particularly in strategic sectors. It said the new development would affect emerging markets and developing economies, given their reliance on FDI from geopolitically distant countries. In its World Economic Outlook, a rocky recovery report, the Washington-based lender said rising geopolitical tensions such as Brexit, trade tensions between the United States and China, and Russia's invasion of Ukraine posed a challenge to international relations and could lead to a policy-driven reversal of global economic integration. According to the IMF, foreign direct investment is cross-border investment through which foreign investors establish a stable and long-lasting influence over domestic enterprises. Firms and policymakers are increasingly looking at strategies for moving production processes to trusted countries with aligned political preferences to make supply chains less vulnerable to geopolitical tensions. Speaking on solutions, the fund advised that multilateral efforts aimed at preserving global integration are the best way to reduce the large and widespread economic cost of FDI fragmentation. Some countries could reduce the vulnerability by promoting private sector development, while others could take advantage of the division of investment flows to attract new FDI by undertaking structural reforms and improving infrastructure. The African Development Bank (AFDB) revealed that Africa may lose as much as 12% of GDP by 2100 if current trends in climate finance flows into Africa continue. They revealed the continent faces an annual shortfall that could exceed $127 billion by 2030. AFDB disclosed this in a statement on Friday as its African Development Bank Group governors prepared together in Egypt to find ways to mobilize the robust private investment Africa needs to meet its urgent climate change adaptation and mitigation goals. AFDB revealed that the theme of this year's meeting would be mobilizing private sector. AFDB revealed that the theme of this year's meeting would be mobilizing private sector financing for climate and green growth in Africa, which it says reflects the growing urgency expressed by Africa's leaders for a step change in efforts to limit temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels by 2100. The Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has directed the suspension of all development plans on Banana Island, Ikoyi, after the collapse of a 7-story building under construction on First Avenue. The governor said the suspension is subject to a comprehensive audit by the officials of the Lagos State Building Control Agency to determine the number of buildings being constructed without approval, as well as verify if approved buildings are being built in line with the approval limits provided. This disclosure is contained in a statement issued on Thursday, April 13, 2022 by the Lagos State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Gbenga Omotosho, where he stated that the exercise will be extended to other estates and gated communities. Omotosho in a statement said that the Lagos State government has launched a probe into the collapse of a 7-story building under construction following a directive by Governor Sanwo-Olu. 25 people were rescued from the site, with 16 having moderate injuries and 9 having minor injuries. And that's all on business news on Noble TV Live with Lily Calvin. Do not forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment Noble TV Live. Have a good day.